As usual during the state legislative session, the halls of the State House in Augusta were filled with lobbyists and legislators last week. But on Tuesday, among the crowd were over 70 people of all ages and backgrounds from all over the state, sporting name tags with a yellow rubber duck. They were there as part of the Alliance for a Clean and Healthy Maine Lobby Day.
Today is Environmental Health Day for 2010. The Alliance for a Clean and Healthy Maine is Maine's environmental health coalition, which is composed of over 50 different citizens, environmental, public health, medical, and community organizations that banded together 8 years ago with the mission of getting dangerous chemicals out of the everyday products that Maine children and adults are exposed to. Couches, televisions, baby bottles, all the products we come into in the course of our days and our years.
Today we are in Augusta to talk to our legislators about two bills that are going through the legislature this session.
The two that people are talking about to their legislators today are the bill that would help neighbors of aerial spraying pesticide operations be notified of when that's going to happen so they can protect themselves, and the bill that would provide resources for the implementation of the Kids Safe Products Act. So today, people from all over the state are in the halls here talking to their representative and their senator about those bills, what they would do, why they as a constituent care about the bill, and why they think their representative should support them.
Maine's Kids Safe Products Act is a national model for protecting children from harmful chemicals in consumer products. The law creates a process to phase out the worst chemicals that threaten children's health when safer chemicals or technologies can replace them.
From a medical point of view, this is essential. Children are much more at risk than adults. Their nervous systems are still developing. They have faster respiration rates. They tend to latch on to things with their hands and their mouths that could be dangerous for them. So the purpose of this act was to establish a process to get all the highly toxic and dangerous chemicals out of children's products. We have been doing this substance by substance or chemical by chemical, but this process has been to try to create a system for evaluating all of the products that are that have chemicals in them to try to establish which ones are the most hazardous.
The other bill, an act to revise notification requirements for pesticides applications, is designed to strengthen a law that establishes a registry of people who want to be notified when pesticides are sprayed from aircrafts or air carrier equipment near their homes. This bill proposes establishing an effective notification schedule, easy to understand information, and prioritize neighbors to receive advance general notification.
Why are we concerned? Well, in the last year alone, there are over 24 scientific studies that have come out just linking very serious human health disorders to exposure to pesticides. And these are disorders from, birth defects, neurological disorders, cancer. There's a very wide range of problems, human health problems, that are linked directly to exposure to pesticides.
Some of these toxins that are in everyday products are neurotoxicants. They can impact the developing brain of the fetus, the infant, and a young child. And that developing brain is very delicate, and an exposure, if a mom is expecting, is pregnant, and she's exposed to some of these chemicals, they could impact the developing brain in certain critical points that would have impacts for the entire life of that child, whether it be learning disabilities or ADHD. We know there's increasing numbers of kids that are being identified with autism.
Some of the comments that have been made in the work in the public hearings are that they feel like, talking about these chemicals will unnecessarily alarm people. We feel like that's absurd. Increased communication can only help reduce conflict. That's our position. And the more people are trying to hide, the more conflict there will be, and the more potential for people to be adversely exposed to these in some cases, extremely toxic chemicals.
At noon, supporters of the bills gathered in the Hall of Flags to present an award to Hannah Pingree for her work during her 8 years in Augusta.
In that 8 years, she's been really probably the single person in the entire country who's done the most to protect families and children from dangerous chemicals in everyday consumer products.
I really want to thank you for this award. I mostly want to thank everybody in this audience who are the people of Maine who have helped us pass 4 or 5 important chemical safety bills that will make a huge difference for the kids of Maine, for the people of Maine. We've done it against great odds and millions of dollars of spending by the chemical industry, and it's because the people of Maine showed up and they said this is an important issue. We had a lot of moms show up and say this was an important issue, and that made a huge difference.
The day ended with a song led by Martin Swinger.
Rubber ducky, you're a toy with toxins that harm girls and boys. Phthalates and PVC, hormone disruptors too. But when I put you in my mouth, chemicals come out, don't they? Dear ducky, what they make you from shouldn't be toxic to me. Cancer in the bathtub.
This is Tom Handel for Community Update.